Town of Stellarton public hearing, 5 p.m. start time. Call the meeting to order. The agenda is in front of us. Any additions or changes to the agenda? Hearing none, can I have a motion, please?
I second.
Moved by Councillor Knight, second by Councillor Wand. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Contrary minded, most carried unanimously. Thank you. Introduce myself as the mayor. This is Councillor Campbell, Councillor Knight, and Councillor Wand. The first case to be presented is 129 River Street. Is there any interested parties who wish to speak against or for the property and record names, please? So, would you like to speak on it?
Just need you to speak into this and name and address.
My name is Trevor Fiat. I'm the owner of 129 River Street.
Okay. So we received a complaint on August 29, 2023. The property was suspected deemed to be vacant, dangerous, unsightly, and poor structural condition. Therefore, a date was set today for council chambers. Do you have any plans for it, or do
Can I explain for it?
you have any plans? Like,
Oh, yes, I do, actually, yes. Well, I actually bought the property from the town in a tax sale with an intention to do something with the property. I guess I'm not here to make excuses, but with the current state of contractors, it's been a challenge to get anyone to tackle it, so I didn't get where I would like to be at this point, but I understand the town's position, and I'm willing to cooperate and do what I can do. I would like to have it assessed and maybe decide quickly whether I will save it or demolish it.
okay, thank you. Does the administrator want to speak now?
We'll just fire the pictures up and show council quickly.
So you want to turn off the lights.
So council, this is the property that's here before us tonight. We received a complaint on August 29th from a concerned neighbor. September 5th, I inspected the property. It's deemed to be vacant, dangerous, unsightly, and in poor structural condition. I'll just flip you through a few pictures there. Mostly that's the front. Foundation on the right side there where the meter's still attached to the house, it's in really poor condition. It's kind of failing as well. Not quite sure how the owner's going to tackle that, but you can see it's bowed out, broken. And yeah, it's just been vacant for a long while, and it's in its current state. My recommendation would be a demolition. I'd recommend a demolition within 30 days. If this council wants to give Mr. Fiat an opportunity, what we've done on previous houses like this that are in poor structural condition, we put in the order to supply me a letter from a structural engineer within 30 days saying that it's structurally sound and salvageable with a plan of action to take out a building permit and obviously fix it so it's not on to the neighbors and create a habitable dwelling.
Did you see the inside of the house?
No, I did not.
Because,
We don't go inside.
no, because the neighbors reported that a floor fell in?
Maybe the owner can speak to that as too, Councillor Knight. I'm not, and normally in any of these houses that are dangerous on site, for safety reasons, I don't go in them because I can't tell if it's a floor.
No, I understand that. No, I just
No,
wanted,
to answer your question, no.
yeah, thank you.
Your Worship, I do have a question for the resident. Understandably, the contractor situation is on everyone. I'm in the same boat. I need a roof, and it's been a year now. Recommendation on the floor has two options. First option is to demolish. Second option is to give you an extension on the basis that you would provide a structural engineer report and a plan of action. Would you be able to provide all that is required for the second option?
Within 30 days, that's what it usually is?
Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm listening to the fan here, I can't quite hear him.
So the question, Mr. Feed, is would you be able to provide an engineered structure drawing within 30 days and a plan of action submitted to the building official?
An engineered structure drawing, I'm not quite familiar with what that would.
Basically, an engineer goes in and determines whether it's structurally sound or not.
Well, I know it's not structurally sound in the sense that it needs work to make it structurally sound, I understand that. I knew that when I bought it from the town
How long ago was that?
3 years ago.
2019.
Yeah, those are the same boards that the town boarded up with, and the town was happy to take, no offense, but to take my money to take it off their hands at the time.
Yeah, well, that's what you're bound to do that with the Municipal Government Act.
And I did, the property was in worse condition when I purchased it. Actually, like again, I'm not trying to make excuses, and I apologize, and I do intend to do something.
I get several phone calls from the neighbors, and they're very, very concerned. They're concerned about kids getting in there and getting hurt. They're concerned about rats. And like I said, I had some real upset neighbors calling me, and I've had several phone calls on that. And they want to know why we're not doing anything with it.
Yeah, so again, just go back to, we're not in the business of just demolishing property for the sake of demolishing property,
No, I understand.
right? So if you can provide an action plan with a structural engineer that says that this is salvageable, then we will work with you. That's what I'm trying to get to.
Okay.
So if that, and again, I don't know how much it's going to cost, but nothing is cheap these days.
No.
So you have to take a look at your finances and understand, is it worth me putting X amount of dollar into it? Or would it be better just to demolish it and start anew? That'd be the decision up to you. You'll have to think about it. You have to understand what your finances is and what
Sort of demolish it and what?
start anew.
Start new?
Yes, because you own the land,
Yes.
right?
But the only reason I bought it was because I own the house next door.
Exactly. So you own the land. So you know
And
whether
it
you're
was-
going to expand
my
your.
intention was to sell the house next door, and I understand that this is an eyesore, and it would only devalue my property next door. I would like to fully cooperate. I'm not.
Yeah, no, we're not saying we're not cooperating. We're just, in order for us not to make a decision to demolish it today, we need to understand if you would be able to provide us with a plan within 30 days. And then we'll work with you. And we have worked with other people before. Some of them led to a demolition, some of them led to a good, work on them. And that's all what we know. We do our due diligence,
Yes, I understand.
and we work with you. And if you are able to provide these things, then problem solved. And we're not expecting this to be fixed within 30 days, just mind you that. We will work with you, but you need to understand at the same time that this house is it could be a money pit for you. And is it worth it? That's on you, not on us, right? So I would recommend to give him 30 days to provide a structural engineer and a action plan. That would be my recommendation.
My concern is if you haven't looked at the house, you need to look at it. The basement is caved in on that side. The wall is down. The roof is down. If that house comes down, who's responsible? If somebody gets hurt, who's responsible? I'm not in favor of the only thing I'm in favor of is tearing that house down right now before somebody gets hurt or something happens.
How does Councillor Campbell feel about it?
Well, I drove by it, but, I'm sorry. I drove by it, and to my eye, it looks unsafe. I'm no engineer or anything, but it looks like it would take a lot of money to do anything with it.
The foundation's in bad shape. Okay, so what's the wish of council? I guess we kind of have two minds here.
My recommendation, I'll go forward to have it torn down. Make a motion to have it torn down.
So you're saying the word recommend as opposed to move? So if you're going to move, like,
I move to have it torn down.
Okay, do we have a second? seconder?
I'm just wondering, what do you think about this, seriously? About it being torn
We
down?
need a seconder before we
Yeah,
can
we
move
need a
forward.
seconder.
So you can second, it's
second
not
and-
approved. You can second just to discuss it?
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Then we
so,
can vote against it. if you want to.
yeah.
All right, I'll second it to
Okay.
discuss
So
it.
there's a motion on the floor, no questions?
Yeah.
Okay. So, what are your feelings on this? Like,
I understand everyone's position here, and I do agree it needs to be dealt with immediately, one way or another. I would be happy with the 30 days to assess something. If not, I'm completely fine with tearing it down.
I mean, tear that house down and rebuild it new would probably,
Intentions of rebuilding on that.
no, but what I'm saying is would be a lot cheaper than trying to redo that. I mean, just to put a foundation under that's gonna be really expensive.
I know that, I mean, it's not, I'm not here, but that wall you're looking at is terrible. The other ones aren't quite as bad, but regardless, you're right, I know it's an expensive venture. I also have the capability to tear that down myself, the equipment.
It might be cheaper for you.
It would be cheaper if you did it yourself.
But it's not, no, I know, I understand that, but I mean, it's not, to demolish it's not an issue. I don't need money. I don't need anything. I can, if that decision is made, I'll do it. Pardon me?
Asking staff, if we give the order to demolish, then we can leave it with Mr. Fiat to do the actual demolition? Or how's that?
Actually, Your Worship, he has 30 days, and if he decides within those 30 days that he doesn't want to keep the property and he demolishes on his own, then our issue would have been solved.
Well, right now,
the
there's a
motion
motion on the floor to
right now is
demolish.
about demolition.
So you
Yeah.
have to, like, for the town to demolish.
Understood.
So
Okay.
you have
The
to deal with
town
that.
or the individual?
The town.
The town.
Okay, so,
We have to vote on it.
yeah, so okay, so all those in favor of the town demolishing it immediately, signify by saying aye. Contrary minded?
Nay.
You have to- Nay, okay.
Okay, so that motion is off the floor.
I would put the motion to give the resident 30 days to
To
come
do
up with,
what?
to come up with a plan and with a structural engineer plan,
Or a plan for demolition?
or a plan for demolition, yes.
Okay, do we have a
Just
second?
the plan would be
Plan of action, that
plan
would
of
be part of
action.
the action.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. We have a seconder for that motion.
I'll second that.
Seconded by Councillor Campbell. Is there anything on the question? All those in favor of saying aye.
Aye.
Contrary minded? Motion carried 2-1. The nay vote was Councillor Knight. So we have direction there for you, Manny, or?
Yes, so can we be very clear to Mr. Feed? So council has given you 30 days to submit a structural engineer's report saying that an engineer was in, it's salvageable with an action plan that will come from your engineer. If you want to engage in that process, that's on your own dollars. If that doesn't, after 30 days, if a letter doesn't come to me and we don't have a plan of action with a permit to repair it somehow, then you demolish it after the 30 days, or the town will come in and demolish it. Just so.
Yeah, and I'll be honest with everyone right now, in my mind, I'm more than likely going to choose to demolish it. That's my gut feeling right off the bat. I just didn't want to close that door.
I would rather the decision to be yours than us forcing it on you.
Okay, so we're good?
What would the timeline be on demolition if that was the choice?
You have 30 days, council's giving you 30 days. After 30 days, if I don't have a report submitted to me, or to the town,
Yeah.
the town's gonna call a tenor. The tenors will be ready to move it down after 30 days.
Yeah, but I mean, within the 30 days, if I don't know how,
You have a plan to demolish to Manny, is that how it would work?
or call the town and say that, I'm not going to submit a plan, I'll give
Right,
it a
then
courtesy.
you just take out a demolition permit with me. So,
Okay.
yes.
Okay.
And that's, yeah, maybe I could ask you afterwards.
Thank you.
Yeah, awesome. Okay, great. Thank you.
Okay. Can I give the opportunity to speak to this gentleman for a moment, or you guys are on the
We're in
business?
the middle of a public hearing.
But we'll only be a couple more minutes,
So we only got one more one to deal with?
and no one's here. Yeah, yeah. So we'll move on to the second order is 134 McKay Street. Interested parties who wish to speak on 134 McKay Street? Hearing none, could I ask the administrator to please present the evidence? Let's open your Outlook for something.
Because the other ones were actual pictures, and I'm wondering if this just came from...
It's forward from, yeah. Taking some history photos here, just forward.
Yeah, and I'm wondering if it's because it was on your email.
That's okay.
So we've all seen it from the outside, right?
So, Council, we've had a number of complaints on this property. That's the big house at the bottom of Union Street. Okay. And then there's a
The old
garage
Kerr
behind
house?
it. And there's a, sorry, and there's a garage behind it. So anyways, we've ended up, I was in the house originally a year ago with the cops, and then we ended up, we boarded, there were rodents getting into it as well, raccoons, and so we boarded the entire house up. And it's been standing like that as well. It's, ironically, it's a structurally sound home, and I'm surprised they haven't done anything with it for the amount of housing that's needed around. I told Susan that before. It's bizarre, because it's a beautiful home. Could easily be renovated, it's structurally. Anyways, to make a long story short, we boarded it up, it's sitting like that, they're paying taxes to the town, they own it, so. But the garage in behind, we had a complaint on that as well afterwards, and then they took out a permit to repair the garage. They started one side of the garage in back, and then they stopped. And the other side, the pictures don't, the other side's open. If you drive down Union Street, you can see the garage. You can, the back of the roof is falling down. So my recommendation to council is let's knock the garage down, the accessory structure now. We'll leave the house as is for now until we have some more complaints on it or something, but the accessory structure is unsafe as far as I'm concerned.
There's nobody to speak for it either.
No.
I would move for the demolition of the accessory building.
Seconder?
I'll second it.
Moved by Councillor Luan, seconded by Deputy Mayor Campbell. Any further discussion? All those in favor, of saying aye. Contrary minded, motion carried unanimously. Thank you. We're good. Okay, so that's it. I just ask for motion to adjourn.